mercy. They were already expressing great interest, but Abhay's charter described more than merely evening classes and it was broad scheme, including a description of the four orders of society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and detailed plans to accommodate a worldwide religious movement. The charter set forth a probationary period for prospective members. It described spiritual initiation. It arranged for economic reciprocation between individual members and the League. It arranged to provide lodgings for preachers, and it defined prohibited activities, illegitimate connection with women, intoxicating habits, diets, regulated strictly on vegetable kingdom, gambling, and unnecessary sporting or recreation exercise. To establish his league with registrar in Lucknow, Abhay required a memorandum of association signed by the league members. In this document, which was to list objectives of the society, Abhay expressed his vision for the continuation of his spiritual master. Like his god brothers who had created new mathas, after the dissolution of the Gauriya Math, Abhay was forming a new branch of Gauriya Sampradaya to be called the League of Devotees. He was not simply claiming proprietorship of a few buildings. He was establishing a Krishna conscious society that would expand into a world movement. His intentions were clearly not insular, but were directed towards creating centers for spiritual development all over the world. Abhay wrote, Lord Chaitanya revealed the transcendental process of approaching the absolute Godhead, and in his teaching, nothing appears to be absurd from the point of human reasoning and nothing against any religion as accepted by human and civilized. In enumerating the League's goals, he included the opening of centers in all parts of the world, thus establishing the League as an international organization for spiritual developments through education culture, as also by recruiting members from all nations, creeds, and castes. The League would publish literature in many languages and print a monthly magazine, Back to Godhead. Abhay obtained the necessary signatures for his memorandum of association. He then took the train to Lucknow and on February 4, paid the deposit of 50 rupees and filed his application. And then he returned to Jhansi, where he was residing. So Srila Prabhupada tried to create an organization known as League of Devotees. And that's where he had a big plan of establishing Krishna consciousness movement, which later failed. But he had a vision, and later on he struggled to continue with his vision, worldwide Krishna consciousness movement, and he then established it in New York City. So he fulfilled his mission. Srila Prabhupada Mrittaki, Srila Prabhupada. So today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 24, chapter 21, text 28 and 29. I've just written text 28. So, instructions by Maharaj Prithu, that's the title of this chapter. And please repeat. Manor Uttan Padasya. Manor Uttan Padasya. Dhruvasyapi Mahipate. Dhruvasyapi Mahipate. Priyavratasya Rajarshir. Priyavratasya Rajarshir. Angasyasmat pitu pituhu. Angasyasmat pitu pitu. Manor Uttan Padasya. Dhruvasyapi Mahipate. Priyavratasya Rajarishar. Angasyasmat pitu pitu. Manor Uttan Padasya. Dhruvasyapi Mahipate. Priyavratasya Rajasya. Angasyasmat pitu. Manor Uttan Padasya. Dhruvasyapi Mahipate. Priyavratasya Rajarshar. Angasyasmat pitu. Manor Uttan Padasya. Dhruvasyapi Mahipate. Priyavratasya Rajarshar. Angasyasmat pitu pitu. Thank you. We'll continue because there will be Gurudev giving class, so I want to do this part. Okay, so please repeat after me. Word transliteration. Mano of Manu. Swayambhuva Manu. Uttan Padasya of Uttan Pad, the father of Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruvasya of Dhruv Maharaj. Api, certainly. Mahipate of the great king. Priyavratasya of Priyavrata in the family of Maharaj Dhruva. Rajrishi of great saintly kings. Angasya of the name Anga. Asmat, my. Pituhu of my father. Pituhu of the father. Idrishanam of such personalities. I'm doing the other verse. Atha also. Anyasham of others. Ajasya of the supreme immortal. Cha also. Bhavasya of the living entities. Cha also. Prahaladasya of Maharaj Prahlad. Bale of Maharaj Bali. Cha also. Api certainly. Krityam acknowledged by them. Asti there is. Gadabhrita of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who carries a club. Thank you. Translation and purport by Spandration. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. This is confirmed not only by the evidence of the Vedas, but also by the personal behavior of great personalities like Manu, Uttanpad, Dhruva, Priyavrata, and my grandfather Anga, as well as by many other great personalities and ordinary living entities, exemplified by Maharaj Prahlad Ali, all of whom are theists, believing in the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who carries a cloud. um, could you repeat after me, please? This is confirmed not only by the evidence of the Vedas, but also by the personal behavior of great personalities like Manu, Uttanpad, Dhruva, Priyavrata, and my grandfather Anga, as well as by many other great personalities and ordinary living entities, exemplified by Maharaj Prahlad and Bali, all of whom are theists, believing in the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who carries a cloud. Thank you. So purport by His Divine Srila Prabhupada, ki jai. So please hear. Narottam Das Thakur states that one has to ascertain the right for his activities by following in the footsteps of great saintly persons and books of knowledge under the guidance of a spiritual master. Sadhu Shast Guru Vakya. A saintly person is one who follows the Vedic injunctions, which are the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Guru refers to one who gives proper direction under the authority of the Vedic injunction, and according to the examples of the lives of great personalities. The best way to mold one's life is to follow in the footsteps of the authorized personalities like those mentioned herein by Prithu Maharaj, beginning with Swayambhuva Manu. The safest path in life is to follow such great personalities, especially those mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Mahajanas, or great personalities are Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narada, Manu, the Kumaras, Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Yamaraj, Bhishma, Janaka, Sukadeva Goswami, and Kapilam. These are the 12 Mahajanas. Okay. So here, Prithu Maharaj, who is ruling the entire world during his time, is instructing in assembly, in his hall. They are demigods, they are great personalities, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and a lot of saintly people are assembled there in that hall. And Maharaj Prithu, who is Sakyavesh Avatar, is giving instructions to the whole assembly. And he is focusing on one thing. He's focusing on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But his father, Veena, I think he was Veena, he was atheist. He was not believing in God or anything like that. And he had demoniac qualities, and he created havoc when he was ruling that time. So the Brahmanas got very angry with him, and they even killed him. And then later on, from his thigh, the Brahmanas brought this Prithu Maharaj, who is a Sakyavesh avatar, and he then again established the principles of religion. And he's also telling his citizens, instructing them to follow the godly path. There is one supreme person he is mentioning, and everything is controlled by him. So, and then he said these things. He gave lots of instructions previously, very nice ones. For example, I'll read one of them. He said, Maharaj Prithu said, I think that upon execution of my duties as king, I shall be able to achieve the desirable objectives described by experts in the Vedic knowledge. This destination is certainly achieved by the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the seer of all destiny. And then he further on says, any king who does not teach his citizens about the respective duties in terms of varna and ashram, but who simply takes taxes and tolls from the citizens is liable to suffer for the impious activities which have been performed by the citizens. Even if the citizens perform impious activities, the king has to suffer a certain amount. In addition to such degradation, the king also loses his own fortune. So he's telling all these dharmic philosophies to the citizens. And in this verse, he said, whatever I am saying is confirmed by the great saintly people, the great. And then he mentioned his lineage like Uttanpad, Manu, Dhruva, Priyavrata, and his grandfather Anga. These were all his. His means those who believe in God. And he said all this was exemplified by Maharaj Prahlad and Bali Maharaj. They were great personalities. And then he says the safest way to carry on, to make our spiritual journey is to follow the footsteps of the saintly people like Srila Prabhupada, like our Guru Dev. So we follow in their footsteps. That's the safest way we can complete our spiritual journey safely. And he mentioned the names of the 12 Mahajans, Swayambhuva, Narada, Shambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manu, Srimad Bhagavatam. So, and who are those 12 Mahajanas? One is Lord Brahma himself, Lord Shiva, Narad, Manu, Swayambhuva Manu, the four Kumaras, and Bhakt Prahlad, and Bali Maharaj, and Yamraj, yes, Bhishma, Janak, Sukdev Goswami, and Kapila. So these are the 12 Mahajanas. And there's lots of katha about these great personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam. And we should follow in their footsteps. That's what he was trying to mention. So, Grantraj, Srimad Bhagavatam, ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So,
Hare Krishna. So we'll be playing His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj Bhagavatam class right now, a video. So please stay tuned.
Anyway, I'll have to